Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Riven 2024. I just read Catherine's journal, and it seems that she has been working on a parallel path to rescuing the Rivenese as Gehn was. But since Catherine actually knows how to write an age properly, maybe this one will work better than the place Gehn is trying to write. So we've read Atris's journal, we've read one of Gehn's journals, and we've read Catherine's. All that's left is this book here, which is the linking book to Nowhere. And now that we have this back, this can lead us to several bad endings. I don't like to do the bad endings so much, especially when there's so many ways to screw it up here in Riven. But the bulk of the bad endings that you can get before the actual end of the game have to do with that trap book and being stupid with it. So if we understand that you put Gehn in it and leave Gehn in it, then you don't get the bad endings. I'm probably not going to do many of those, if any. Unlike a Space Quest game where it's fun to see how many ways Roger will kill himself off. I'm not as... The bad endings here in Myst games are just sad, and very little comedy is involved in that, and so we're just going to wait for them to visit us and let us go. I may edit some out here, so wake me up when they get here. Alright, there it opens. And in the previous version of this game, the old original, they brought you a linking book. You didn't actually get to walk out here and explore. Now they've constrained you to one path, and we can't talk to any of the Moiety. We don't speak Rivenese. They don't speak whatever language we're speaking. Is this a altar to Catherine? She's not going to like that. Alright, and we're going to... This individual will let us go. Oh, there's a gate anyway. Gated off. So while we can see Tay, there's very little we can actually do here, because we are given a path to follow, and we have to stick on that path, but still we can look around and see what this place is all about. And the only real things important in the game are the journals, the trap book, and this book back to Riven. Okay, so we've found Catherine's journal. We've got the trap book. Let's go and tell Catherine what we've done, what we have, and then see what we can do from there. Okay. As soon as it lets go with the mouse. We should not need back in there. We can actually link back in. But, I'm going to want the submarine. I honestly don't think I need the submarine, so I'm going to just go out this way. And we just have to hope that nobody from Gehn's team is on here. And I think we're going to go to... think we're going to go this direction here and return. Just admiring the scenery here. It's a beautiful game, beautiful world, but Gehn has made a mess of it. Look at one other thing while we're here. Don't remember. It's been about a week since I did the first section of the game. We noticed this thing had been cast out and chucked off the balcony there. It looks like a furnace. If I get close enough to it, we find there's a dead linking book in here. This furnace was in the lab in the old version of the game, in the original. Some kind of waste pipe from somewhere. You know, if this age wasn't falling apart already, I would be a little bit more upset at the deforestation going on. And natural resources being squandered. But whoever makes the book first is going to save the Rivenese so we can forgive. So I'm not going to complain as much about ransacking the environment as I would normally. This age is doomed anyway. The Mist community has been having a debate since Riven was released 25 years ago. 28 years ago. About whether the Dunny actually write new worlds into existence, or they merely write links to existing worlds. And Gehn clearly believes that he writes new worlds. Atris believes that he writes links into worlds. can never find these things easily, which is why I don't like using this as a shortcut, except to get to the prison island, which we will have to do once more. But just want to go talk to Catherine, see if she has something new to say. And then we're going to go off and try to find Gehn. I think I know where to do that now. It's that linking book we saw in the start of the game, back when we were still on Temple Island. I want to come back to Temple Island via the maglev from Survey. No, not Survey, from Village, because of something that sometimes happens there. I haven't figured out what the trigger is there. Hoping it does it this time. It did once for me, and I don't think it'll do the next time. And we have to go off the path here. And ladder. And then I always forget the route from here. This route across and over, and this, if this is the stump of the great tree, it must have been huge. Alright, let's see if Catherine...
You're back. Time is running out. You have to free me. The combination is hidden somewhere in Gehn's outpost in age 233. So you'll have to trap him to get it.
And we know she's on camera, and which is why she is not giving us more explicit directions than that. When she says time is running out, I'm pretty sure the game itself is on a time limit. You can take as long as you need to figure stuff out. But a sense of urgency is not a bad thing in a game like this. While strict time limits would be a bad thing. Compare King's Quest 3 and 4 with the more open other adventures, and also the LA section and the cruise ship of Leisure Suit Larry 2. I've done it again. I've missed the button. Those parts of the game have very strict time limits, and you have a lot of stuff to do and not a lot of time to do it in, or it's a game over, and then you have to restore back to before the times are the time where the time limit started, and then just do the same thing you just did, but quicker. As a way of stretching the game out by having to keep replaying, and that's just more of a frustrating game mechanic than it really needs to be. Don't know why my video card is making the edge of that thing all flickery, but we're actually going down the hatch this time, so I want to just keep looking at this. vertical line is boiler. It's the color we didn't know from before. But given that Gehn doesn't believe in 6 colors, alright, retrace our steps back to Temple Island, because that is our next goal, is to finally go and see if we can track Gehn himself down. Why we want to do that's another discussion, but we do need to get him trapped in the linking book. So we will see what we can do there. Alright. It was Riven that started the missed tradition of putting rides in games in the series. Between the maglevs and the minecart, and that's it in this game. Myst 3 had some other fun stuff. If I ever get around to doing Myst 3, which is a pretty cool game. Didn't have the same problems as 4 and 5 did. But if I get around to doing Myst 3, we'll go on those rides. Notice that Gehn's bolts have 5 points on the head and not 6 like most common ones around here do. That's Gehn. This bridge is down. The rotating room is wrong. But we heard an explosion when we got here. Keep that in mind in a few minutes. This will take us to the spinning dome. IIRC. Yeah, I want the big golden one. I'm going to pause here and we're going to take a look now that we know some lore. And we're going to look at something that we didn't earlier. And it's basically that each of these beetles on the wall opens up and reveals a little vignette. This one appears to be the making of a book, because we have the paper shredder or the wood chipper up top, the boiler, the hand of Gehn, fire and trees. Here we have Gehn casting Atris into the starry expanse. His version of the story. Here we have Gehn and the guilds that he's mentioned in his books, in his journal. Looks like the left one is the maintainers, educators. I don't know what that middle one is off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't know. Gehn as a deity being worshipped by his people. And I think this is 5. Gehn writing and creation spewing forth from his words. Alright, and we've reached about 25 minutes, so we're going to stop here. And when we come back, we'll figure out how to use this linking book. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time.